Before most social interactions, I get the talk from either my mom or the lovely Rachel, my girlfriend, reminding me to just be nice. Don't start anything. It's start what? Start what? Start what? An interesting open conversation. I'm not trying to push my opinion on anyone. I'm just different. I've always been different. In many ways, I was the same as everybody else for a while. I'm getting really sick and tired of being crazy Jay. Come on, Jay. Really? You think that? Really? You're a conspiracy theorist? You really believe that? Come on. Which is why I would rather talk on here, which is why I'm not at the bar right now or at a friend's house or anywhere. I'm good where I am. And I'm wondering if you feel the same, if I'm just old and crazy, which I could be. You know, and I'm sure age has something to do with it, but I'm just sick of being the odd one. Like, it's funny. I'm sick of being the one that cares and suggests things like, hey, maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't realize Santa Claus is fake. Maybe you don't realize, oh, yeah, Christmas isn't really on December 25th. There is no date. They're using you for money for gifts. This is all bullshit. You can't say that, man. You cannot say that anymore with old fashioned type thinking, with closed minded thinking. And I'm not trying to be a Grinch. I'm using a strong example. I'm just sick of always being like just quiet and nice. That's why I don't go anymore. Because if I can't, I don't understand why you can't have an alternate opinion in a friendly way without getting people pissed off. It's it's bizarre to me, you know. It's the reason why the last few Christmases I haven't gone to, and why I only, kind of stay around select people. And you might say, oh, well, that's being closed minded. Well, maybe, maybe a little bit, but maybe it's just I'm 46 and I'm burned out. I'm sick of explaining. I'm sick of, and then everybody who has a different opinion, or anybody who disagrees with your different opinion, you got to do all the homework for them. No, not doing it. You do your own homework. I'm giving you my opinion. Like, tell me, we can have a conversation here, and if you're interested in my idea, or what I think, I know none of us know anything. So I'm not acting like I know something. I'm just telling you my beliefs differ. The older I've gotten and the more I've seen through the bullshit and seen behind the curtains, seen behind the veil. And I just finally had it. And even tonight, waiting to make this video, I'm like, oh, how should I present it? Should I just talk? Like, this is something that I know I'm not alone. But when did it get, well, it doesn't matter when. I'm just sick of it. I don't even care about when or who. When did we get who gives a shit when? It's just annoying, and we all feel it, and it's too bad because we learn the most from talking. We learn the most from conversation. The whole point of why I'm attempting this channel is to get some dialogue going, and I'm afraid to say anything. Like, then why do I even have the channel? That's what I'm asking myself tonight. I'm like, Jay, what are you doing? You're doing the same thing with the channel that you're doing with family. You're hiding from maybe somebody who might not like the video, or might whatever this stupid fear is that we all carry. And that's the big one, man. Everything's fear driven. Our anger, it's all our choices, it's all fear driven. The way we cower down instead of speaking up confidently and just saying something matter of fact in a nice way. You don't have to be a jerk about it. But I think a lot of us have become defensive. I know I have. I get defensive to where I have to be so careful with my words. I just can't say what I want unless it's, very few people. Even my mom gets upset. She's very open minded, but even sometimes I know there's certain things I'm not going to bring up to my mom because it's going to upset her. But those things aren't wild. To me, it's interesting talk. It's me still exploring some of these things. Um, if religion's bullshit, and I know it is, I'm just saying, I'm not going to tell my mom, who's been going to church for 76 years, who has a great heart, and she's the nicest lady. I mean, she's the kindest lady I know, and anybody and my friends know. So, I know she's not willingly participating in evil and all this stuff. I can't. Before most social interactions, I get the talk from either my mom or the lovely Rachel, my girlfriend, reminding me to just be nice. Don't start anything. It's start what? Start what? Start what? An interesting open conversation. I'm not trying to push my opinion on anyone. I'm just different. I've always been different. In many ways, I was the same as everybody else for a while. I, as much as I'm against all this politics, I'm no party. I'll never vote again. I can't believe I ever, this is just an example. I can't believe I ever participated in this joke that they call a government, in politics. But there was a time not that long ago, I liked Trump. I supported Trump. I watched Tucker Carlson. I can't believe it either. We're human. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where people get this thing where they're afraid. They're afraid to ruffle feathers. Oh, don't upset my brother. He loves Trump and this. I'm not trying to upset your brother. I'm not going to go in there. But if he asks me a political question or if he asks me something, I got to be honest. I'm going to be honest. But I found now I have to be very simple with my answers and almost, I don't want to say, I don't want to say pandering because I don't pander usually. But it's crazy. And I'm surprised. Sometimes I am surprised when I open up a little bit. Sometimes I end up having a great conversation, and I always let it known. Everyone feels like they have to know the truth about stuff, or they have to know that, or their thing is right. To me, there's obvious truths. There's obvious things that we know are. I shouldn't say there's obvious truths. There's obvious bullshit. So I don't know maybe how the truth might exactly be with government, with history, with all this stuff, but I know what's not true and I know who's swindling me and who's not swindling me and who's not lying to me. So it's hard for me to sit with someone who's kissing the ass of this person who's lying to us, Trump, when I myself used to back the same thing. So that I'm using that as an example. And it could be anything. It could be, you know, music, everything people ask me because I'm a musician. Oh, what do you think of so and so? What do you think of this? And usually I don't like it because it's auto tuned, it's pitch corrected, and it's garbage. It's been made by 11 people writing one song for Taylor Swift. Like, that's not impressive to me. It's just not. And it doesn't have to be classic rock or heavy metal or stuff that I like or jazz, whatever. I like all kinds of stuff. I used to love I still love Janet Jackson. And I know there's a lot of writers on that too, but I used to love the soul and the feel behind things, behind art, behind movies, behind even pop music. It's just so flat, man. There's nothing there for me to like. What am I supposed to say? Trust me, I'm looking. I would love to say Sabrina Carpenter's as great as Whitney Houston, or she's a great singer, just like I don't know what Sabrina Carpenter sounds like. When someone asks me that, all I've heard is bullshit TV show specials that are all auto-tuned. I don't know what she sounds like. I don't know. You're gonna tell me Sabrina Carpenter's sitting there with a pen and she's sitting there with a pen and paper with an acoustic guitar and oh yeah, F sharp. I don't know. No, they're not writing songs like that. Like Taylor Swift ain't sitting and banging out chords on a. Those songs are ready when she walks in the studio. Like she's being told, how am I supposed to give an honest 46-year-old man opinion who knows a good amount about the music business and about how things work and what they should sound like and how it's fake? How am I supposed to be? I won't lie. I just won't. So I'm venting today again, and I know that there's people out there. You're watching this video, maybe you're like, "Yeah, Jay, me too, me too. I can't go anywhere." I'm expecting that there's others. I know there's others. Welcome. New, old. I don't have too much content here. I erased a lot of stuff I hated. Should have just left it on there. But this is the real situation. And this is the biggest thing that, and I'm not like bummed about it. It's, you know what it is to me? It's like, it's just too bad. It's just a shame, because I would like to be more social. We didn't have to be bombed drunk and talk about stupid shit like the Bills and Josh Allen and the same dumb shit. Like everyone thinks they know football. It's just boring to me. And I used to be that person too. I had season tickets for 10 years. I'm not saying I'm above this stuff. I'm just saying maybe I've outgrown it and I've seen that there's more to life than that. And there's a lot of cool shit to talk about besides the Buffalo Bills and besides this. Yeah, we know it's snowing. We live in Buffalo. It's actually great for being a musician, a content creator. I'm into sports cards. As long as you get your workouts in, I actually like that there's 6 months of, you know, just doing stuff that's inside and focus. Now it is tricky. You got to get your sunlight. It's not the healthiest. I'm not saying it's healthy, but you can make it healthy and you can make it productive. But when I see everyone around me still doing the same shit, I don't want to be around that, you know? And it's just a shame that I can't speak with more. That's why I'm on here, hoping to find some other open minds. And I don't care if you disagree with me. I hate this elitist, you know, and then right away they try to ridicule you for being different, or oh, you're one of those or one of these. That's why I got this the channel called "Come On, Jay." It's what I heard all my whole life. Come on, Jay, really, and every possible variety I've heard. Come on, Jay, and it's usually meant with it's usually brought upon by dickish, you know, connotation. You know, everyone's kind of, oh, come on, Jay, you really believe that? I try to have, and I'm not slamming this person, but one of my favorite bass players. This guy is phenomenal. One of my favorite people. Uh, this bass player I play with. I'll keep him nameless in case I don't want to name names, even though no one here is going to know. This is a couple summers ago. We were doing some nice. They were along the river in Buffalo. Some really cool live jazz. I did some jazz gigs on a boat, and it was nice. The Miss Buffalo, nice little booze cruise, you know, summertime thing. And I got into a little conversation, making a mistake. This may have been 3 years ago now that I think about it. You know, me and this guy, we get along all the time. We're great, you know, not great friends. I only really see him at gigs, but we have a great mutual, you know, professional and personal mutual respect for each other. And I know he's way into science. I have a lot of questions. I question a lot of science. So I was trying to avoid a serious conversation about if the moon landing was real. Yeah, that's a big one there. And I was going to avoid it. And then I forgot what I said, but it really upset him. And then let me try to think about it. I think it was basically just saying that there's no way we've been there, and we couldn't get past the. At the time, I was stuck on the what's that? The the Van Halen radiation belt. The Van Allen radiation belt was my big thing, among other things. That Land Rover that looks the lunar module looks like it's about to fall apart, and they couldn't do it during the tests, but they did it on the moon. Apparently, it's the one that almost killed Neil Armstrong. He parachuted out of the test thing and almost died during the test run. He got mad about all that, and I thought we were just gonna have like a fun conversation, but he got mad, and it got a little like tense, and I was still. And then I got a little upset because he was upset, and I'm like, "Really, Mike?" I'm like, "Oh, there's his name's Mike." And I'm like, "Really, Mike? Like, we're having a conversation. Like nobody really knows because we weren't there." He's like, "You really think that you're one of those people?" And I'm just like, "Oh, yeah, I am one of those people. Yep, I am. I don't think we went. Do I know for sure we didn't go? Not for sure, but I feel strongly. But I know that we only are dumb little peon humans with these little brain in this big giant universe." So it got tense, man, and then you know, and it didn't ruin the friendship. We've done a million gigs since. We haven't even talked about it. But the person who we're doing the gig for, it was like a quartet, and his name is Samuel. He didn't really know too much about this, but he caught when we came back from the set break. He could tell we were not going back and forth. We could tell we were both a little ruffled, you know. And I just kind of mentioned we are talking about the. I'm like, oh, we're just talking about the moon landing, and he was just like, oh God, you know. He probably knew it got a little opinionated, but I did make a joke because we started going. Not even 10, 15 minutes later. Now it's nighttime, and it's beautiful on the water. Beautiful. We're playing nice. We're forgetting about that, you know. And we all really get along. You know, we really do. No matter what form of the band he has, we just all get along. We have a great time. It's all laughs and great stuff. But the moon came out, and it was a full moon. And I looked out, and I'm looking up in between the songs, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, there it is. I said, there's that big piece of cheese right now. I said, there's that big giant. I said something like that. There's that big giant piece of cheese right now. And they both looked up, and we all looked at each other. We had a real nice laugh. Can't we just do that from the get go? Why are we so defensive with our opinions? We guard them like we know something for sure. I'm not saying I know something. There's certain things I know are bullshit, and I'm not going to follow them. I'm not going to go to those churches. I'm not going to follow those traditions anymore. That's my opinion. That's my belief, or not even my belief. That's what I know to be true. And I respect other people if they want to do something different. But I'm always, I guess my point is, it's just too bad that I'm always the one that's not sitting in the corner, but sitting alone, quiet, like, damn, like everyone's talking about that bullshit that doesn't matter. Everyone's overweight. Everyone's miserable and hates their job. Everyone, but they're just whatever. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me by the fireside here, the fake fire on the TV. I'm going to try to do more of these where I just kind of spit what's on my mind. And I hope someone out there can relate to. If you're a black sheep, put a comment down there. Put something funny. Make me laugh. I'm not going to tell you what to put, but comment down below if you can relate to this guy. All right. Come on, Jay. What are you doing? All right. See you next time, guys.